My teammates are Tushar Sharma, Ayush Jangid, Anil Bairwa, Aniket Sharma, and Midul Mishra. Today we are here to give a presentation on the topic colloids. Next. Next. This is the index of our presentation showing the topics which we are going to cover in this presentation. Colloid is basically a heterogeneous mixture of two substances. Its size ranges from 1 to 100 nanometer. Next. Now, the very first property is Tyndall effect. When a beam of light passes through a colloidal solution, its particles illuminate the path of light, and this is known as Tyndall effect. The second property is Brownian motion. When we observe the motion of colloidal particles under microscope of high magnificence, we see a zigzag motion by colloidal particles. This motion is known as Brownian motion. And the third property is that colloidal particles contain charge. It can be negative or positive. This can be shown in an experiment known as electrophoresis experiment. Two platinum electrodes are placed inside the colloidal solution, and it is observed that colloidal particles attract toward opposite electrodes. Next. Now there are a number of methods through which colloidal solutions can be prepared. These comprise of double decomposition method, oxidation, reduction, hydrolysis, and etc. Following are examples. In first example, arsenic is getting reduced, and in second example, redox reaction is taking place. Other methods for preparation of colloidal solutions are Braddock's arc method. In this method, a electrical ring or a electrical arc is placed inside colloidal solution, and the temperature of this arc is is increased to so much extent that it start vaporizing, and this vaporized metal on condensing mix and form colloidal solution. The other method is peptidation method. In this method, electrolyte is mixed in the solution, and a colloidal precipitate is obtained. Next, now I would like to invite Anil Berwa for next slides.
These are the examples. For example, in a medium, in a sol, and some other examples are tea, butter, and cheese. Sorry, smoke and dust. Again, in the dispersed phase, the gas state has come in the dispersion medium solid, and the types of solid is solid salt, and some other examples are stone, foam, and rubber, etc. In the dispersed phase, the gas state has come, and in the dispersion medium, the liquid state, and the types of solid, foam, and some other examples are whispered cream, soap, leather, etc. Next. And on the basis of nature of attraction, these are the two types, lyophilic sol and the lyophobic sol, as your differentiation seen in the figure. The first differentiation is these are reversible process, and in the lyophobic sol, these are irreversible sol. Lyophilic sol, these are quite stable and are not easily coagulated by electrolytes. These are less stable and get coagulated by electrolytes by heating or by agitating. And the next one in lyophobic salt. These are obtained by simple solution method. Example starch solution. The next one in lyophobic salt is these are prepared by indirect method, which are not easy. And the other one is in lyophilic salt. These are obtained from an organic material such as starch, gum, gelatin, etc. And the next one in lyophobic salt is these are obtained from organic materials such as metal, sulfide, metal oxide, and etc. The other one in lyophobic salt is these particles are hydrated. In lyophobic salt, these particles are not hydrated. And I would like to invite my friend Ayush Jangir to further explain PPT.
Now we classification of colloid on the basis of particle dispersed in phase. First, multimolecular colloids. As we seen in the PPT that first on dissolution a large number of atoms or smaller molecules of a substance aggregate together to form a species which having a size in range of colloidal range. This species thus formed is known as multimolecular colloids. For example, a gold soul may contain particles of various sizes having many atoms. The next one is macromolecular colloids. Macromolecular colloids is a suitable solvent solution with size of colloidal particle within the range of colloidal range. Such system is known as macromolecular colloids. These colloids are quite stable. For example, naturally occurring macromolecules are starch, cellulose, proteins, and enzymes. The next one is associate colloids or micelles, substance which at lower concentration behave as electrolyte but at high temperature exhibits colloidal behavior of due to the formation of aggregates. These aggregates particles thus form are known as associate or micelles. For example, is soap. Now, I would like to invite Tushar Sharma to explain the further PPT.
May be represented as C17H35COONA. It is also called sodium stearate. It is a major component of many bar soaps. When dissolved in water, it dissociates into RCO minus ion and Na plus ion. The RCO minus ion consists of two parts. First, a long hydrocarbon chain R and non-polar tail hydrophobic. Second, polar group COO is hydrophilic. Next, as we can see here in diagram, the sodium stearate formula is C17H35COONA. Here, the head part is hydrophilic part and the tail part is hydrophobic part. Now, I would like to invite my colleague Anil Berwa for further explanation of PPT.
Ionic micelles. First, the RCOO negative ions are together present on the surface with their CO negative groups in water and the hydrocarbon chain staying away from it and remain at the same. As we can see in the diagram, first arrangement of straight ions on the surface of water at low concentration of soap, and B arrangement of straight ions inside the bulk of water. Ionic micelles at critical micelles concentration of soap. Next. Now we can come to purification of colloids. Next, there are some processes. First, dialysis, the process of separating the particles of colloids from those of crystalloids by means of diffusion through a suitable membrane is called dialysis. Principle of dialysis: colloid particles can not pass through a parchment or cellophane membrane while the ions of the electrolyte can pass through it. Third, the impurities slowly diffused out of the bag, leaving behind pure colloid solution. As we can see in the diagram, a bag of suitable membrane contain the colloid solution is suspended in a vessel through which fresh water is continuously flowing. Now I would like to invite my friend Midul Mishra to further PPT.
The process number 2 of purification of colloids is electrodialysis. To increase the process of purification, the dialysis is carried out by applying electric field. This process is called electrodialysis. The application: artificial kidney machines used for the purification of blood of the patients whose kidneys have failed to work. The artificial kidney machine works on the principle of dialysis. So here, as we can see in the diagram, there is a tub-like container with water inlet and water and electrolyte outlet section, and two electrode bars, namely anode and cathode. And we also have a vessel in which both salt particles and crystalloids are mixed with dialysing membrane. Next PPT, please. The process number 3 of purification of colloids is ultrafiltration. Salt particles directly pass through ordinary filter paper because their pores are larger than the size of salt particles. If the pores of the ordinary filter paper are made smaller by soaking the filter paper in a solution of gelatin of colloidon and subsequently hardened by soaking in formaldehyde, the treated filter paper may retain colloidal particles and allow the true solution particles to escape. Such filter paper is known as ultrafilter, and the process of separating colloids by using ultrafilters is known as ultrafiltration. So here, as you can see in the diagram, there is a tub-like container with a CF membrane separating the two sides of the container. When pressure is applied on one side of the container, the filter paper separates colloid particles and true solution particles. Next PPT, please. All right, we thank you everyone for viewing our presentation. Thank you all.